Good afternoon, everyone. It's actually my first speech in front of such a large audience. So instead of not being like Peter, trying to be provocative, I'll just trying to deliver. So please be kind with me. If you want to discuss about graphite after this speech, you can come meet me anytime. And we have Wenda. So basically, Eric could not make it. He's in discussion with some strategic Chinese partner. And Wenda has lost her voice. So Wenda, who's our IR manager, so I was elected to replace all those people. So yeah, we all need to start somewhere, all right? Because before I used to, go to the mining site wearing a pair of jeans and not be in front of you guys. All right, so let's start about Nouveau Monde. Nouveau Monde means basically exploring the new world. So if we would have done this corporate presentation about 2-3 years ago, our 30-deck slide, this is the resume of our 30-deck slide. So basically, Eric is a geophysicist. So he went out there near the only producing mine in North America, the Emrys mine. He flew over 10,000 square kilometers, and he said, okay, statistically, I'm going to find a graphite deposit around the only producing mine. And that's what he did. So it ended up being so that property was discovered, Matawini, in 2015, and it's the only major North American graphite discovery since 2001. So it's a pretty, it's been, for 15 years, no graphite exploration were performed, and most of the company out there are just using a previous project that were found. So if we discuss market opportunity, at this point we see two market opportunities. The first one being the lithium-ion battery. It's a coming market. At this point, it's still relatively small in America. 100% of the graphite anode material right now is produced out of China and Asia. So we want to tackle that North American battery market in the coming year. So basically electric cars, electric buses, and also energy storage solution. And then the second market opportunity that we see is the market is the Emrys mine that is going to be depleted by 2020. They announced it publicly lately. So that mine has been the only one in operation for the last 30 years in North America, and we are really close. We have similar metallurgy, similar head grade, and we aim to take the customer that they've built for the last 30 years. So Nouveau Monde, so as I pointed out, we did a world-class graphite discovery. That was in Q1 2015, so that's been only 2 years, and we're really fast-tracking our development on that property. So the advantage of our property is we have high purity graphite. We have a great flake size distribution, which is really similar to the Emrys mine, and this is what's make us the right suitor to replace them. And then also we'll see it later. Our location, we're strategically located 150 kilometers out of Montreal. We're close to all the infrastructure. So a deep sea port in Montreal. So this is really important because shipping graphite overseas is expensive. So like a Chinese graphite or East African graphite probably costs around $200 to ship to North America. So really the market we're tackling is the North American market. So if we talk about the team, so Eric, who could not make it, I'm there, Charles-Olivier. Right now we're looking for a COO. We are in discussion with several people, so you should see an announcement sometime soon. We're looking for somebody that has already built a mine in Quebec, and that's going to be another strong person that we'll be bringing on board. We have Guy Bourassa, who just joined the company on the board of director. So he's the CEO of Nemaska Lithium. We have a lot of great synergy amongst our company. They are 2-3 years in advance of us. They're tackling also the cathode market, so the lithium-ion battery. So he's bringing a lot, and Wanda is also doing the IR for them. And even from a technical standpoint and the rest of the team, we've been discussing with their people. Pierre Renaud is also a strong addition that we made. So Pierre Renaud was the former president of the BAP, so Bureau d'Audience Publique en Environnement. So that's the permitting process in Quebec. He's the one who has written the Sustainable Development Law in Quebec, so he's really well aware on how to go forward with that mining permitting. Michel Delsart also, this guy had run a firm of project management. He has built over $10 billion worth of factory in Quebec, so he's really good in terms of project management skills. So he's both in the board of director, but also working as a consultant for us. And then we have the rest of the team. If I go to the technical team that we put together, so recently we announced that Armando Farate, which was is now the market leader for us. He used to be the natural graphite product director for Is Graphite and Carbon, and previously the COO of National de Graphite, which is the largest producer outside China today. So Armando is bringing a lot of expertise within that North American market that we're going after. So it's really important to have that market expertise to go and tackle the customer. We have Zhang Li Tan, so Zhang Andrew. He's I guess, English name. He's been working for over 20 years in the graphite industry. He was based out in China. He just moved to Canada. So this is also a strong addition for us. He's making connection with both the anode producer and also the supplier base in China. So this is a really key person for us. We have a Matrix advisor also helping us on the corporate development. So Matrix is led by Dick Fall, which is the ex-CEO of Lehman Brothers. And then we have a whole bunch of other technical guys to build the mine. So this is what we're really transitioning from an exploration company to a development company. So that's why we had to swap our board. They were all exploration geologists, which was really good at the time, but now that we're moving into development, it's important to bring on the right people. Corporate structure, we have 85 million share out, market cap of around 25 to 30 million. We were not, I would say, really active in terms of marketing in the past couple of months, so we are starting to gain traction on that front. We have 20% of institutional support, which have been there since the beginning mostly, but then the rest is mostly retail. So what is graphite? Graphite, it's obviously it goes into battery, but today graphite is dominated by China. 67% of the world graphite is produced there. We have India also that is mainly going through the steel industry, so they are consuming a bit more than what they are producing. Then we have Brazil and Canada, and then we have a couple of other countries, mainly in East Africa, producing graphite. If we look at the end user, traditionally it's been the steel industry with the refractory brick that's been the leading consumer. Then the battery, if we would have put that chart, and that chart dates from 2015, but if we would have looked at that pie chart like 2012, the refractory would account for more than 50%. So the battery is coming up quickly. That 25% is not only lithium ion, graphite goes into most of the battery technology, whether it's lead acid, alkaline battery, and so on. So that 25%, it's not even half that is lithium ion battery today. If we look at North American situation, the consumption is around 80,000 tons in North America with a production of 20 to 25,000 tons from Imerys, and then most of the rest of the market is supplied from National de Graphite in Brazil. So this is what's coming in terms of lithium-ion battery factory in the US. This chart evolves kind of every week or so. So right now there's more than 10 factories that are being built to be producing battery. And one thing is for sure is that they are looking to find the right vendor, and hopefully, and for sure they have a lot of, when we discuss with those guys, they are happy that we're not based out of China. So just from a short-term demand perspective, if all this production comes on stream in the next 2 to 3 years, we can expect that those factories will consume 140,000 tons of flake graphite. So going over to Imerys, what is good, this mine is about 120 kilometers away from our deposit. What I like about it is that it's kind of a school for Nouveau Monde, right? We're hiring the right people. I told Eric, I know which one we should hire, which one we will not. So as this mine is going to be depleted, there's going to be a lot of talent available in the graphite industry. So that's really key for us to attract those people. And even in 2014, that was the first time in Quebec where we had to put up front the mining rights that we were paying. And I was the one signing this tax return. And we were in the super profit sector in 2014, so we had to pay a lot of mining tax. So, and this is an article from a journal in Montreal, and we were the most profitable mine in Quebec. And now this was published in September, so they announced it publicly that in 5 years from now the mine's going to be shut down. They also announced that they have a waste to ore ratio of 7:1. So if we look at our deposit, so it's a unique geological. We're ideally located. So we see the town is right here. So this is the town of Saint-Michel-des-Saints, and then there's a 20,000 industrial complex. So that town was built around forestry. There's an oriented strain board Louisiana Pacific plant that was shut down in 2006. It's been in care and maintenance since then. We're discussing with them, but that could be a good site to do our value-added product. From an infrastructure and labor standpoint, this is really great that we're close to that city, so we have manpower available, and we have all the infrastructure that is really close to the property. If we look at the resource, so now we've been concentrating on the west zone. We have more than 30 years of graphite in there. We just released before the PDAC our new resource. So this is what we're gonna be putting forward in our pre-feasibility study that we are working on at the moment. So this is our PEA, so our preliminary economic assessment that was published in June of 2016. And when looking at the figures, for sure it was an engineering study. We already identify a lot of different places where we can enhance our project economics, and that's what we're working on. So this is obviously the revised total is not 43-101 compliant, but this is the number we're targeting to get out as improvements for our pre-feasibility study. So if we discuss a bit about the value-add product, we have not published any 43-101, and we will not. This is not our goal first. We don't want to be disclosing all our cost structure to a future customer. And so that's why we're not going to do this. And to me, the first thing when you look at a graphite company, you need to have a strong mining project. And then if you have a strong mining project, you can build a successful graphite company. So basically, this is a couple of other markets. So there's the spherical graphite that goes into the lithium ion. There's also some other purified micronized and purified graphite concentrate. There's also the expandable graphite, which is a product that today is the one that last year grew the most after the lithium ion battery. So they use that expandable graphite for fire retardant. And that the price range can be upwards of $15,000 for a ton of finished product. So if we look at the milestone, we're at the PFS stage at the moment, and then our goal is to move directly into feasibility study, do the impact benefit study as well, and then start the permitting. And one thing that is not on this chart, because it's just recently, we met with the government authority a couple of weeks back, I would say maybe 3-4 weeks back. I'm not sure which date is it now, but so we're gonna be doing a phase 1 plant, so demonstration plant. This is really key for us in a lot of regards. First one, graphite projects are really low capex, so it won't be too huge to finance. We're looking at a $10 million phase 1, probably getting half in subside through governmental program, especially on the electrification side. The Quebec government is really proactive to help a company. Then it's going to enable us to establish the contact with the with the customer base. So not only sampling like a couple of kilograms, they will be able to visit the site and go back home with a 40-ton of graphite. So that's going to really help us to sign offtake and to finance the big project. So in terms of timeline for that demonstration plant, we'll be applying for permits. So why we decided 1,000-ton capacity, when we met with the authority and Pierre Renaud, which is sitting on our board, we said, okay, what's the highest we can go and still be at that fast-track permitting? So that's how we established. So 1,000 ton a year is going to be the maximum. So that's how we came with that figure. So we're going to be applying for the permit. It's going to be a 3-month permitting process. And what also enables us to do that is that we'll be using an existing facility. So it's a renovation permit for the industrial site. And then at the mine site, it's going to be a bulk trial. So we'll be able to process that for 2 years. And that's it. So, and then if we look at the schedule, that 2 year of demonstration plan will bridge while we're doing the full permitting, which is around 2 years, and that cannot be compressed. So if we look at Nouveau Monde, why it's a good play in the graphite. We have a really attractive growth opportunity. We have a really low market cap at this point. We have a large resource. As you've seen, we have only drilled 3 kilometers out of the 14, and we already have more than 30 years of mine life. We have high purity across all grade, high percentage of large flake to tackle both the industrial market and the upcoming lithium ion. We have a favorable jurisdiction, strong infrastructure really close to our site. And what we aim to do is to be a carbon neutral operation. So that's going to be a challenge for our engineer, but that's what we're working on. And this is what the supply chain is asking, is that we're producing those vehicles, but we don't want to have a dirty graphite. And at this point, we also have a strong, I would say, not strong, but we had some support at the beginning from the institutional shareholder. And as we'll be moving to a larger market cap, we'll attract more of them. So this is it.